We're into live stream. We are live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, we're live. Okay, let me take that off. Okay. Ninja, do you want to take?
Whoa. People. So it is currently Monday. You washed already, got the thing. Splash.
Boom. What about now? How's the audio? We good?
Someone say yes or no.
I can hear you.
Okay, amazing. Yo, what's good, people? It is currently 10 minutes past 8 p.m. UK time, Monday, the 13th of June, 2022. Welcome to another special episode of The Game, which is a weekly stocks and crypto with market updates, with live technical analysis, with special guests and AMAs, free webinar that Blockchain Sensei have been doing.
Do some quick maths. What's 1% of 20,000?
So if you haven't been here, where have you been?
200.
A quick disclaimer before we start. All our content is for education and entertainment purposes only. No information should be considered investment advice. No advice here, no sir. Or a financial recommendation to buy, sell any assets or place any trades. Please always do your own
Research.
It is very important to do your own analysis before doing any or making any investments based on your own individual circumstances. If you are struggling to pay electricity,
Don't be buying crypto.
don't buy any crypto.
Definitely don't be buying NFTs.
Yeah. Sort your bills out first, okay? Make sure the electricity is paid for, that your kids are fed, you know what I mean? And the wife's happy, okay? Always be investing disposable income after bills and responsibilities have been met. Always take independent professional advice from a professional advisor. Sky God, are you a professional financial advisor?
I'm not.
Alyssa? No. Mr. Harding? No professional advisors sitting right here on this Zoom.
Financial edutainer.
Exactly. Or please independently research. You've got to research yourself and verify all and any information you may find in our edutainment content. Do you wish to rely upon whether you wish to make an investment decision or otherwise? All investments come with what? Please always do your own research. We are not, and we do not intend to be perceived or received as
Financial advisor.
However, we
Them man
are
there.
working in collaboration with some of them man there, some financial advisors we are working in collaboration with. If you're unable to mitigate your risk, please contact us immediately via Instagram or email, so we can refer you to a accredited financial advisor, which again, are you sure any of you guys are not financial advisors? Okay, cool. No financial advisors right here, right now.
So one thing I've got to say before we go any further is there's a lot of people attending this week, which is amazing because people don't normally attend when there's a dip. So big shout outs to you lot that are attending while there's a dip. Next thing I'm going to say is go and watch the last NFT Fridays that we just posted. The game that is in there that gets dropped, mad. A1 gems. So that's that. So we're going on to the news. Are you guys happy with the news today? Or
For a second, I feel like sometimes we always rush things, and it's important to just stop and celebrate for a second.
okay, yeah, that's
Let's just celebrate for a second, right? First of all, right, we've been in this office for over a month now. This is now week 5. Canary Wharf base. Shout out to DLT Lounge. Big milestone.
guys, please follow DLT Lounge on Instagram. When DLT have any events, make sure you come down. If you're in the space, you need to come to DLT Lounge and just network, because some of the things we're finding out about and the way that our business has exploded from being a part of DLT Lounge is insane. So yeah, you don't know what you're missing. Hopefully, we're going to be doing live episodes of the game for everyone to attend with the LT Lounge starting from July. So make sure you get your tickets first.
So yeah, I definitely wanted to celebrate that. So just take a moment because sometimes everything moves so fast. Honestly, if you asked me, if you told us that 5 weeks ago we'd be doing the things that we're doing now, I wouldn't believe it. If you told Mr. Harding 3-4 weeks ago he'd be having the meeting with Keish that just happened a few hours ago, wouldn't believe it. Okay, we might be getting, we won't say where, but we'd probably get a plane somewhere, spending some time abroad this year. I don't want to talk too much. I don't want to jinx it. But now, what do I always say as a blockchain entrepreneur, as a businessman? I always say you're going to always be building your business. And one company phrase that we have is blockchain sensei is forever in a bull run.
Always.
Always. Always. So without further ado, I would like to introduce two new members in the blockchain sensei team.
He's not new.
Well, ish.
Not new. Everyone's seen it before.
Everyone. One time.
Everyone on YouTube seen it.
Okay. Well, but you didn't have a title back. Not like day one. Like you want to play. Yeah. Anyway, Alyssa, if you just tell everyone what you've been up to the past what. Shout out to Alyssa.
Going back to that blockchain sensei. So about a developer. My job set is just support co-founders of this. I help out with research. Definitely
research, right? Definitely research, because this is the thing, right? This is probably too much sauce. I'm sorry, right? He might tell me off.
I give away $1 billion IP. So
okay, cool. So, do you know how we always say do your own research? Well, do you know what the wealthiest and busiest people do? They get people to research for them. They have research teams. So I was assigned a task to do some research in the Web3 music world. I got busy, right? But the information needed to be gained in the company, right? Mr. Harding, when he sets me a task, he doesn't care if I do it or not. He just cares that it gets done.
It's executed.
It gets executed.
Fast.
Right? Whether I do it or Alyssa does it, it's my responsibility. I had the responsibility to do X amount of research, right? But because of busyness and company expansion, what did I do with that research?
Passed on over to me.
I
took care of.
Exactly. And now the knowledge is in my brain. It's also in Alyssa's brain, which helps because when we do certain things that maybe Mr. Harding doesn't have knowledge of, I now not only was able to save a lot of research time, because I got Alyssa to do it. He then presented the information to me, so I basically 10x'd the speed in which I got the information. And then now, when I need someone to help me with X tasks, he's the first person. So now we've got double manpower. Now, the way that relates to people is, this is why you need to build a network of researchers, whether it's you and your friends or in a formal company like Blockchain Sensei. Everyone has that access. Everyone here has access to Blockchain Sensei. A lot of people are on WhatsApp. Start forming your own research groups, right? Because information is everything, and one person can only do so much. Now, what was that key phrase that you said after all that research? It all ties together. Because when you do enough research in investing, everything makes sense. The same VCs are involved in the same clique of people. God, you say.
So Anderson Horowitz, they put their fingers together. See how the like web connects. So Anderson Horowitz here is like blockchain founders fund. It helps paint the whole picture of like the whole scene.
Would you say that understanding, especially the VC game, helps you understand what cryptos are here to stay, what's going to pop, what's not?
Yeah, 100%. Because we're seeing which VCs are backing it, see like confidence in the project, see like through that, see the success rate of the VCs. Certain VCs, like they have multiple successful projects. So if you're being backed by one of those, chances are.
I also want to during this episode, you don't know about bear markets. I love bear markets, and especially these big dips, because it almost gives you time and space to think for a second, because nothing is price-wise popping off.
Yeah, there's no hype. There's less hype.
There's less hype, which is why during these bear markets, obviously, this is the thing, right? I know we will get to reasons why the market's down. Mr. Harding will jump on the charts and give you, his Fibonacci and his Don Chandler support line.
I already told people ETH is going to go to 800. I already told people that Bitcoin is going to go to 19. I put this out there time ago.
But this
Every week.
This brings me on to one of my favorite phrases of all time.
Out there.
Right? One of my favorite phrases of all time. The application of knowledge is far greater than the acquisition. So I know, because I've spent enough time in this space, a lot of people are hungry for the reason why the market is down, but you should be more hungry to figure out how you can get the cash to buy the dip.
Facts.
Like, the market is already down. So are you going to spend time in the reasoning of why, which is interesting and not a bad use of time? Are you going to spend that time learning how to get a bag to get the tip?
Yeah, because let's say, for example, worse gets worse, and we don't even get to 800 Ethereum, we get to 400 pound Ethereum.
Are you
If
going
you
to have
had
the cash?
4K spare, it's not financial advice, but I don't know what I'm doing with 4K. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, come through the time. So,
No.
but yeah, let's introduce SkyGod.
Oh yeah.
SkyGod.
Hey, I'm Sky.
Come on,
Yeah.
introduce yourself.
I think that was full role, yeah.
Yeah, just obviously you can't say the name of the project.
Yeah, I can't say it, but I'm working closely with the blockchain center co-founders to help them with kind of client liaison and building out some of the projects that were to be disclosed.
Tell them a little bit about you, man.
Oh man, I don't care about that. I want to know who you are.
Yeah, well, okay, so I'm
a crypto chain. 2020, man, losing the friendship.
yes.
People in there, man.
I kind of started getting into crypto and NFT back in 2020, but wasn't as didn't see the long-term vision quite at the same speed we did. But obviously, I've come around, which is why I'm sat here. Aside from that, I'm an artist. I'm a rapper. I also CEO of Penting Poetry, soon to be Penting Media events and workshops. Black owned. Myself, DJ, shout out poet, PJ, and yeah.
He's recently released a book.
And PJ's recently. Big. My Instagram at Penting Poetry. Please follow myself, SkyGod. Yeah.
And you have a master's in. You never ever mentioned
Yeah.
this. Ever. Come on. Yo, that's mad. Yo, so this is SkyGod. We brought him on to assist Ninja.
Well, first of all, let's not just discredit the fact that without SkyGod, there was no Quiche. Like, you really.
Main credit.
He's integral. Like, look, please, from now on, please do not see blockchain technically as, you shouldn't even see it as a duo or trio, but it's definitely now Quiche, Mr. Harding, and myself in terms of like absolute decision making. Like, I want everyone to know that Quiche is on our level. He's in there in the trenches, less customer facing. But yeah, the team's expanding, so we're very, very lucky. I'd like to celebrate the fact that tomorrow, Tuesday, the 14th of June, is going to be the biggest IRL day in blockchain sensing history in terms of numbers, because we have Seji, our podcast manager. Shas, if you're listening to this on any audio platform, it's because of Seji. We have never today extracted a video file and put it on Spotify, Apple Music, audio. So anyone who's listening to this, you are listening to this audio because of Seji. Now, the amazing thing is Seji is one of my students, or was during the time of the period where I was teaching him as a client. So he was a client of mine who I've never met, who, mind you, I got him as a client because one of my friends, Charles Elsie, he's a rapper from Manchester, I put him on crypto. Seji and Elsie are friends. Elsie connected me with Seji, became one of my clients, one of my students. Then we needed a podcast manager. He became our podcast manager, LinkedIn manager. We've never met Seji IRL, so he's about to come to the office. He called me this weekend and said, I saw you guys were making moves. Even though he lives in Liverpool, he's coming tonight all the way from Liverpool, spending 2 days in London just to meet us in real life. So start Seji, and I hope what you guys can take away from that is the hustle, okay? And respect that. We also have a new intern called Will. Now, the way we fired Will, right, was literally, first of all, Will has been following us on YouTube for a while. Will, are you online? Say hello if you're listening.
None of he's on Zoom.
He's not in the Zoom. All right. That's cool. So I had a client, and I thought, you know what? I had an intro session with the client. Let me IG live this client, as in the actual lesson.
Oh, he is there. Will is there.
Go to the IG, and then I had a conversation with him. Got him in the office. Everybody vibed with him, and Will officially be the youngest person ever to work with Blockchain Sensei as an intern at 19 years old. So shout out to him. We've got Summer coming in, our legal advisor. Who will finally meet everybody for the first time. So we've got Summer, the legal advisor, Seji. Bear in mind, nobody's met Summer, our legal advisor, and Seji, our podcast LinkedIn manager. They're going to be here today. Skygo's going to be here, Liz is going to be here, Will's going to be here, and then myself, Keish, and Michael. So that's basically 8 people IRL. Really, you know, that's a huge thing, right? Now, the reason why I say all of that is because, like, please look at the growth and trajectory of Blockchain Sensei, and just basically can study it from YouTube video 1, tweet 1, Instagram 1, right? The blueprints there, plus our personal social medias to see. You can literally study how we went from nothing in 2020 to this large, you know, almost like, I want to say organization, but kind of more like DAO in a sense, right? Because nobody in Blockchain Sensei is on a salary. Everyone's about equity. I'm going to get onto equity in a second because I've got some exciting equity, right? Because equity is everything. Remember, ownership. Remember, the markets, okay, the markets will be up and down. But if you've got a good business, you can be in profit forever. The balance sheet can okay, so one last thing before we get onto some news and why the market is down, and before I get into some slides that I made earlier about financial rentals and principles that I feel like are going to help you guys for the long term. Remember, yeah, the market's down, but it's short term. The market always bounces back up. The market in the long term always bounces back up. I did an episode 4 or 5 months ago called Equity is Everything. Please check that out. Equity is everything. Especially check out the YouTube video, because in that I literally break down a smart contract deal via WhatsApp, the WhatsApp print screens, the percentages that I myself, Blockchain Sensei, our developer, will be making, and how we got that deal. To break it down now, basically it was a custom smart contract NFT deal. Most NFTs are not custom smart contracts. Most NFTs are on OpenSea and Rarible, which is great. But if you want the NFT on a custom website, a smart contract, right? So our CTO got a smart contract inquiry to build a custom smart contract. I liaised that deal. Shout out to Deco, our Discord manager, and Maestro, who helps with spaces and marketing. All these people, myself, our CTO, Deco, Maestro, and then Blockchain Sensei as an equity. As an entity, own equity in this project. The project is called the Universally Challenged. I've been very, very public about this. I'm very, very happy to announce that this is the Universally Challenged was the first ever Blockchain Sensei smart contract NFT project, right? With Deco on Discord, with Maestro on marketing. Mind you, never paid Maestro and Deco anything. What they got is equity, which they'll be paid in the next few days as soon as we sort out the percentages. I'm happy to announce that the Universally Challenged NFT first mint completely sold out within 2 hours.
Jeez! Fire! I don't need a match or lighter.
blockchain sensei will make money from that project forever as long as the project keeps developing. So yeah, let's celebrate that public finance. Completely sold out. You know what I mean? So that's what happens when we connect people together and bring value to solve the problem. So that's some business lessons. You guys want to know why the market is down? Of course they do.
Because news. The news,
Let's go to
bro.
the news. Okay, cool. So, shout outs Alyssa, who is pretty much responsible for this research. I'm merely going to be reading his research. Obviously, I'm aware, but I didn't contextualize it in these words. All these words of research are down to Alyssa, as I was doing a big proposal. So, why? So, reasons, including but not limited to, why the market is down. So, one of the reasons is due to inflation reaching an all-time high, which is
9%. It's the highest, and it's rising at the fastest rate. 40 years.
rising at the fastest rate in 40 years. Now, let's not forget, because people forget this, right? Everyone remembers coronavirus, of course they do. How many times do people say this is the worst economic crisis since the 1930s? Which is the reason for the hyperbolic quantitative easing, where the fiat currency monetary supply almost doubled. So it makes sense that if we've gone through the biggest economic crisis since the 1930s, that we probably are going to reach all-time inflation as well. Big, please.
The UK has Brexit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, obviously there are a lot of issues regarding trade and our ability to trade relations with former they've been in 40 years. Yeah, right now food, also gas prices, all linked to inflation, but also linked to our status as kind of.
Guys, we can't hear you.
Oh,
Can't hear us.
Nah.
What about if we talk like this?
You two are fine. It's just the two guys on the right and the left can't hear.
soft voices. We've got
You
soft
need to
voices.
shout.
We need to speak up.
Project your voice.
Okay.
Interrupter.
Talk from the diaphragm.
We're just saying, inflation has played a role in the collapse of the crypto market, but also in the UK we have the compounding effect of Brexit, which, if you've been paying attention, obviously it's been harder for the UK to form international trade deals with other countries. So that's impacted our food reserves. Food banks, for example, being used more than they have been for 40 years. And that's also slowed down our economy because the government has been kind of waylaid, making deals, attempting to kind of bolster our trade relationships.
You got a fact for you, courtesy of Alyssa.
Right, so in the UK economy, like new figures were revealed today or yesterday. Our economy actually contracted. Economic growth contracted by 0.3% in April, which is literally like unheard of.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Economic
Growth.
contraction. The economy got smaller.
Wait. Did I not say this was going to happen? Did I not say the FTSE is a bag of turd? How long have I been saying this?
For like since 2020. Since 2020.
I've been saying this.
Just like we've been saying for a year and a half that Netflix will one day crash because it doesn't make
They
sense.
can't get famous
Yes.
for projects we can't defend.
Remember-
I personally believe Netflix will recover.
I'm gonna get bored.
That's my one. That's my one, is that Netflix will
We'll
recover.
recover.
Obviously, we've got counter thoughts on that one. But I'm pro Netflix. I don't invest in it, but I'm pro that it's going to recover.
Like he's egging it on without investing in it. But remember, you're the tax investor.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Go to the Instagram stuff.
wait, we're still why is the market down? Let's not.
Oh, we're doing the market down as
Yeah.
a sec. I thought that was a segment,
No,
not news.
I mean, Alyssa, come on,
I thought we was giving him a segment on it. Okay, cool. Go on. We'll go to
I'll
the
take
news.
it.
There's a lot of reasons.
So, because of due to inflation rising at the fastest rate in the past 40 years, interest rates have also gone up, and it will be the first time since January 2009 that the interest rate has been higher than 1%.
So we need to break down for the audience. What does the interest rate going up? The interest rate's gone up. What does that mean? Why is that a problem? That is a problem because let's think of the number one asset in the UK that people purchase. What is it? It's a house. Now, if the interest rate goes up, your interest rate on the loan you were getting against that house was 0.5%. It's now, what's the interest rate now?
1.25.
1.25. So that means every, is it month or day? I don't know how it works out, but it depends on your deal. 1.25% extra you're paying. Now, that doesn't sound like that much, but how long is your mortgage for?
How much did the house cost?
And how much did your house cost? That's average mortgage people are paying for 40 years. So let's not even take the 2.25. Let's just call it 1%, right? That means that you are paying 40% extra for your house just because. And guess where that money goes? To the bank. So let's say you bought a house for 100K, which we know is basically impossible. You're paying 140K for that house.
Okay, exactly. And next reason why the market could be down, it's not financial advice, is that in the USA, the annual rate of inflation rose to how much, bro?
8.6%.
Which is the highest since when?
December 1981.
So the USA annual rate of inflation rose to 8.6%. It's usually 4%, right? 8.6, which is more than double the average. And that's the highest it's ever been since December 1981.
And again, why are these numbers important? Why is 8.6 inflation this big deal?
Because things get more expensive.
Things are getting more expensive by 8.6%. Now, again, that doesn't sound like a big deal. But when you think of it in terms of business, let's say, for example, we've got a business and we make chairs. We were usually getting 100 chairs for £10 a chair. That 8.6 is now adding that little 8p to it.
£86.
But for 100 chairs, that's now an extra £86 that we're paying for no reason.
Therefore,
so where's that money got to come from? You've then got to charge the customer more, and then on top of it,
doesn't want to spend.
The customer's not going to spend that, and then if you can't find that money to get that extra £86, you've got to make cuts elsewhere. So one of the places people get cut is their job, or we'll notice, and the first place you notice that the inflation is coming is food quality. Food quality always goes first. The ketchup gets more watery. The milkshakes get a bit weird. The chips get a little bit smaller. Your portions get a little bit smaller. Your Mars bars get smaller. Why? The chocolate just tastes different. Why? Because on a big macro scale, when you're buying things in the millions, billions because of your supply contracts, and things have gone up 8%, that's huge. That's costing you millions of pounds.
Now, some crazy news that's happening, unfortunately, on my birthday, Wednesday the 15th. Let's not be sad. What's happening on the 15th of June, bro?
Yeah. The Federal Reserve are expected to announce interest rates. Obviously, they're expected to rise them by 0.5 percentage point. Second consecutive.
So 8.6 to 9.1.
So what people
looking it.
Also, if the interest rates go up, that makes bonds more attractive than investing in the stock market. Now, when bonds are more interesting than investing in the stock market, bonds are normally boring. Nobody gives a crap about bonds in the investment world. But if everything's going down and you're guaranteed 3%, 4% over the next 2 years, suddenly bonds look great. Oh my God, let me put 100 million, a trillion in some bonds. And that is where the money goes. It gets pulled out of the stock market because everything looks unstable. Why does everything gonna look unstable? Because everything was overvalued. Everything was overvalued. Companies were skyrocketed up by 50%, 60% when they had a loss. Doesn't make no sense. And we were saying this for 2 years. We've been saying.
Even Tesla.
Yeah, Tesla was saying that they were overvalued.
Well, they just said they're going to lay off 10% of the staff.
That's because they can. No robots coming.
Well, yeah.
So yeah, that's why inflation and interest rates matter.
And one more thing, America, like they set the tone for the rest of the world. As you know, like the US dollar is like the world's like stable currency. So what happens in America, Britain's all around the globe.
It's like to say, if America catches a cold, everybody else dies of pneumonia. Right.
You want to talk about the JME and NFTs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really sorry, guys. Basically, I forgot that Mr. Harding was going to be talking about NFTs and JME. Yes, JME, bueno, right? I should have put that on the poster. However,
I told you I wanted to speak about it. You didn't put it on the poster.
I know. I didn't. I forgot. And then you was in a meeting, and then I only had like 20 minutes to do the poster, and I forgot. My bad.
Are you gonna? I was gonna say before you go into this, while we're still talking about the market.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about Ethereum and why it's down specifically in relation to they tried or attempted to merge the network?
Yes. We have.
Which was so. Do you want to leave?
Yeah, but you talk.
So
You did the research.
essentially they were doing a test merge because, as you know, they're planning to merge. So there's like a test network, things called like rostrum or it's called right. Ropsten. Yeah, Ropsten. But the merge didn't actually go as smoothly as they wanted. So they delayed. Yeah, there were like bugs in it, so they were delaying it. And in addition to that, due to investors going long on Ethereum on the hope that the merger would be positive, their positions got liquidated. As a result, the price fell further. So it's kind of like a double hit. They were practicing with the, like you said, the Ropsten testnet merge, and it slid 11% because it didn't go as. So investor fear, I guess. After, I should say they're planning later on in the year the official merge by way of a what they're calling a difficulty bomb, which is essentially where they make it incredibly the problems required to solve the problems your computer is required to solve to mine Ethereum. They're planning on intentionally making so difficult on the way to impossible to change it from a proof of work to a proof of stake model, which is what the merge is representing. So because that didn't go as smoothly as planned, they had to delay the true difficulty bomb for the end of the year, meaning that investor certainty slid. So people who didn't get liquidated were also less likely to invest. This happened last week.
Wait, can everyone hear Sky got fine? Can everyone hear that? Can someone confirm?
Yeah, I'm hearing it.
All right, cool. Because project.
Sorry, man, I got a soft voice. It's just
You're rapper, man.
raised by women. 12 ways on Mr. Hard, Mr. Quick one. I know you guys have heard about the Celsius exchange platform freezing.
Freeze my funds, man. I got like $600.
Come on. Anyone that's got their funds back by thousands.
No. Listen, I got a few $100 in Celsius because they've got a centralized stake here.
You deserve it because you're not listen. You're not listen, boy. No girl. We tell you all the time, not your keys, not your crypto. Now your crypto get took away and you want to cry. You not listen.
I listen. I do have some funds locked in Celsius, don't need 200. Obviously, the risk comes the reward. Since 2020, I've staked Celsius, receiving interest on their platform. I'm only listed in Celsius coin. Hopefully, they won't freeze it. You know, I'm not really keeping up to date, but yeah, low level bubble.
I'm ready. You ready?
Yeah.
So basically, I saw Jamie drop a video, and the video was pretty. Man, can everyone hear me?
Yeah, can you?
Okay, cool.
So I saw Jamie drop a video just absolutely destroying NFTs. And I agreed with everything he said. Now, I'm going to go into some of the things that he said and some of the things that I said back. And if you like NFTs, or you think you know a lot about NFTs, or you know someone that thinks they know a lot about NFTs, I'm not saying I know a lot about NFTs, but I've read a bit, and I talked to some pretty powerful people in the space. I'm not saying I know everything, but some of the things I'm going to say are going to upset a lot of people's opinions about NFTs. Great facts. So let's get into it. So coming with the NFT facts. This was first something from JME. Let's go to the video, hopefully. Hopefully it plays. Come on. Load. Okay, so it was like a tweet thread of him saying most of the things that people are selling as NFTs you can get in a business anyway. Hang on a minute, let me go to his tweet thread. Whilst I'm doing that, I'll go to his replies.
What did you reply?
Nah, of course he didn't. He probably blocked me. I put, finally someone educating what blockchain is, thank God. Blockchain sent these to Jeremy for the collab. Oh shit, you can't view his tweets anymore. Oh, so one of the questions he was asking about is, can you make an NFT that only goes to one person? Did
Jamie block you on Twitter?
I don't know, probably. But I put, yes, you could already do it, but now Vitalik is making a song and dance out of it and calling it a soul-bound NFT. Then I put, people are deluded thinking that Bitcoin and Ethereum is for the people when literally 90% of all transaction of BTC on the over-the-counter market is by banks and funds and politicians. Not going to say who, but we were facilitating or helping to facilitate a OTC deal for 1,000 Bitcoin. And one of the facilitators said, oh, well, I can just get Barclays or Lloyds or HSB to sort that out. Yeah, let that sink in. So next one I tweeted, I'm fascinated by blockchain technology, but it's disgusting to see how much money is going to absolute dog shit with no revenue model. So there is so many NFTs and crypto projects that have no revenue model when it could be going to a business based on hydroponics, mental health, NHS, but instead billions are flying into JPEGs. Humans are pretty dumb. Why are we concentrating all this time and money into JPEGs and into, yeah, it's a smart contract, but smart contracts are good, but we've kind of got global situations that are a little bit more important that need us to put the money into and the research into more than smart contracts, but no one's doing it. So if anybody wants to partner up with me, I'm going to make a blockchain where it's plant to earn, where based on the plants that you plant, you will be rewarded in a cryptocurrency, because I think that might be important in a global food shortage. I don't know. You let me know if you think that's a good idea. So we need more people like Jamie educating people. So how the hell is an NFT going to be the first asset you own when you've got no stocks, no gold, no house, no financial literacy, and you don't even know how to use ETHScan or to see if your NFT is even real? Yeah, you got the JPEG, but where's the receipt? So wait.
You know what? I was trying to do that. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I would be like, show me on the chain where it is. Show me. Go on ETHScan and show me where your NFT is. Because they don't know where it is. If you don't know how to use ETHScan or any kind of blockchain explorer, don't buy an NFT. Don't do it. Because you don't even know that your NFT is real. So this summarizes the problems. People buying NFTs knowing nothing about blockchain analysis and companies, and brands dropping them just because they wanted money, not education, then flopping like Liverpool did. So you probably saw Liverpool did a drop of 10,000 NFTs when why? The fans don't even know what ETH is. Like, why are you doing that? Brands, stop doing that. Stop just trying to release 10,000 because everyone else is and trying to make money. Stop doing that. If you want to make money, make your NFT scarce and just drop 5. You don't need to do 10,000 just because everyone else is doing 10,000. Okay, so that was that one. So, great example here. So, Meebits, the NFT, as an example, of the 2 billion in sales from Meebits NFT, 95% of it was wash traded. This is corporate and government money laundering on the highest level. People are deluded thinking that it's the everyday person doing 300K flips minimum on a daily. Look around you and ask yourself, is that the everyday average person?
That's a gem where you just dropped actually. Talking about essentially financial institutions using these projects to.
Of course they are. But for some unknown reason, people think it's the everyday person. It's not. Next fact that no one wants to know. 16.8 million sales on OpenSea, 18.4 billion in sales, and less than 500K OpenSea accounts. Now, most of those accounts and most people on OpenSea have multiple accounts because I've got 5. Most people that are in the game properly have multiple accounts. So there's probably actually only 100K users, and that's 18.4 billion sales across 100K users. Doesn't make sense. 5, and then when you check up on it, 5% of OpenSea accounts make up 80% of the profit of the OpenSea secondary sales. So that's 5% of people on OpenSea are getting 80% of the 18.4 billion. Still think it's decentralized? So just before I would put those facts out there, but here's the evidence from it. So this is from the Citibank Metaverse report. So you can go onto my Instagram page and it's all there. I just thought I'd put it there. If you want this report, you can get it as well. So again, another one, over 2,000 individual NFT collections on the marketplace of OpenSea, and only 250 collections account for 80% of these sales. So yeah, I just thought I would just put it there. Now, the ultimate crux is this one. Most NFTs do not store the data on chain as it would be too expensive. Instead, they only contain a URL that points to the data. What can you do with a URL? Clone it, change it, fake it. Therefore, anyone with the access to the underlying URL could swap out the base file. There's nothing in the NFT specification most of the time itself that restricts where the image should be or even allows to confirm whether someone is the correct image. So when you're buying these NFTs, make sure, number one, they're actually on the blockchain, because that's kind of the whole point. Number two, make sure that you understand you are not buying the image. You are buying the digital contract attached to that image. And then make sure that it's actually, again, on the blockchain and not just going to a URL. So just thought I would drop some of those bombs there. In more happier news, though, check this out. I'm sure you probably saw it on our story. MasterCard NFT. That's all you got to do is type in MasterCard and NFT on Google. Shout out research. MasterCard brings its NFTs, brings its payments. Oh, bloody MasterCard. MasterCard brings its payments networks to Web3 and NFTs. So that is 2.9 billion people that can now buy NFTs because of MasterCard.
Also, Monzo is backed by MasterCard, right? It's their partnership, so that's included.
Yep. So, and also, just to reiterate, NFT sales. Oh, that was 2021.
Because I think the fact that you said that, I think there's some information that I take for granted that maybe everyone doesn't know. Everything is all bank cards are pretty much either Visa or MasterCard, right? So your Monzo's MasterCard, my Lloyd is a MasterCard, right? So it's not like, so MasterCard isn't a bank. Yeah, which is bigger than a bank because literally all cards are either MasterCard or Visa. So don't think of it as like a bank. It's literally a whole entity that multiple banks, including when I limited to, off the top of my head, Monzo and Lloyd's TSB.
Now, this one we mentioned on NFT Fridays, but it's so big it needs to be mentioned again. Gala Games have partnered with Epic Games. Now, we did a whole episode about Gala Games over a year ago. Please tell me you were accumulating when we got Dom on to play Town Star and show you that you could be acquiring Gala playing the game. They've now partnered with Epic Games. Who are Epic Games? Well, they kind of make a game called Gears of War and another one called Fortnite. I don't know if you've heard of it. So, I don't know. Them guys getting into NFTs, yeah.
It's still NFT as well. Those kind of games that are all like pay to win.
Yeah. Just ask yourselves how much, the amount of money and revenue that is what I would say is with NFTs and with crypto, just think business wise. Does it revenue? Does their partnerships revenue? If they don't, it's not business. An investor isn't going to stick around. And who are the investors? The VCs and the big money. They're not stupid. They put their money into things that they want us to buy, knowing that it's not making any revenue. You pile in, they get out because they got in at pre-seed at 0.1p, and then it's now $10. So they've made 100x. They get out, and now they go and invest in projects that actually do something, and nobody's bloody interested. Because nobody's interested in Flow, nobody's interested in Gala Games. Well, So yeah, that was that news. And then also mentioned this on NFT Fridays. Well, I'm going to mention it again. The Premier League have signed a patent for NFTs, cryptocurrencies, digital tokens, digital asset trading, crypto services, virtual clothing, footwear, and sports gear. If you think that this dip is permanent with that kind of information, I just don't know what to say to you, really. So yeah, that is all the news and updates and whatnot.
Financial red clothes. Right, listen, I need you to be my slide guy.
That's good. You're doing this, yeah?
Yeah, literally.
I hope that didn't seem like a scolding.
Yeah. Ooh, time for the red clothes. Nothing solid.
Over there. And this is on the
This is on the slides.
You might as well use share screen from the Zoom instead of it being that screen. Oh, is it on share screen?
Yeah. You need to make him co-host.
No, he's already co-host, so just do. Boom.
Okay, so here are some financial methods and wealth principles that I hope help some of you guys journey be free. Because if you're not tapping into blockchain principles with the intention of gaining information, potentially access, shout most stuff information, access, and assets. If you're not tapping into our content with the intention to be financially free, I don't think we're going to point. If you're only here to make a quick buck, to make a flip, blockchain template is not the platform for YouTube. Why I think it's always important to go back to principles and fundamentals, because principles and fundamentals last the test of time. Everything else is temporary. What asset to invest in, which is going to go up, or what asset is going to make a big. So, well, principle one. I'm sure you guys have heard of this, but I'll talk about it for a second. If you never learn to make money in your sleep, you will work until you die.
Especially with inflation.
Especially with inflation.
They'll find a way to make their body work.
So let's be all 19 key solution based on this.
I'll be here.
You'll be here.
I'll just be angry.
No, man, they trying to do this to me. I told you. I came in the chat, you made something.
No immediate rushing in, like, don't feel overwhelmed by the pressure because inflation is going to keep going up. But I always want you guys to consistently think about how you can make passive income, how you can make money in your sleep. So one of the ways to make passive income is through equity and ownership in a business. Mr. Hardin has recently closed the biggest client of our company. That was last week. I didn't do that much work in the acquisition and the closing of the deal. I'm doing lots of work now, but that is a form of passive income in the sense that I didn't go out my way to secure that deal. It got secured, right? Another form of passive income, again with equity, is through NFT projects.
Wait. I think you need to pull back on that and break it down. So let's just think traditional business. Some of your friends and some of your networks will have traditional businesses will be looking for a small investment, 5 grand, 10 grand, 20 grand, right? You then get equity in that company. Whatever plays that company then goes on to do, you've now got passive income, you've just made money from it.
Yeah.
But people forget to look like what's right in front of them. And that's one of the easiest ways of getting equity and getting kind of your foot on the ladder. It's just help your own community, help people that you know already, like that are already doing stuff. That's just obviously.
Mm-hmm. Another way to get passive income is through the sales of digital products, right? One of the things that I think everyone should aim to do in the next 2 to 5 years, I say 2 to 5 years because we're thinking long term, is publish an ebook.
Yeah.
The one time you publish an ebook, literally one thing that we decided as we was scaling up as a country, as a company, is to increase our digital product portfolio. Right? We only released our first digital product. I think it was September or October last year. It was either the PDF or the video replay. To this day, bro, how many random emails do you get that somebody bought the PDF, somebody bought the replay, somebody bought the PDF, somebody bought the replay? All the time, right? So have a digital product that you can sell. If you can have a subscription service, that's even better.
Yo, put it this way, how easy is it to make an ebook? It's pretty simple. You go on Canva, type in a few words, and you type in what kind of ebook you want to make. There'll be a template for you. What do you talk about something you love. If you love painting, write an ebook on painting. If you love dogs, write an ebook on dogs. If you like, I don't know, coding, write an ebook on coding. If you like beer, write an ebook on the top 10 beers in the UK. Someone will buy that for £2, £5.
Exactly.
Just like it's the amount of range of what there is for ebooks is insane. Just find what you love, write about it, and give it out and find the right channels to market it. And there's gonna be someone somewhere that's gonna buy that. I would buy an ebook on the top 10 beers in the UK.
I promise you that everyone listening to this has access to equity. It's not as hard as you think it is. You literally find business owners, like especially small business owners, and you ask them, what do you want and need? And then you tell them, I understand you may not have the cash, but if you can reward me with some kind of formal equity, however many percent, I'll do X amount of work, come to that agreement, multiply that. I own percentages in so many businesses, and we'll never stop acquiring equity. will keep a private equity to the point where I know that, okay, let me go a little bit extreme and dark. I don't want to do it. I don't want to go there, but I don't currently have any kids or anything like that, right? I'm not married, but if I were to pass away in the next 7 years or whatever, hoping that someone got a kid, I know my kids will.
Yeah.
I know my kids will financially because of my ownership in blockchain sensing. How good could you sleep at night knowing that if you passed, your family will be good? You can't do that if you don't have equity.
No, you can't.
Can't do that if you
This,
don't have equity.
this is the
Can't do that
number
without
one
passing
problem of employment, unfortunately, is that back in the days in our grandparents' days, the employers would give you equity, but the whole point of the word co-op was that co-op working there used to give the employees equity.
Yeah.
They don't do that
You
anymore.
don't do that anymore.
That's the whole point of their name. They're not doing it. Guys, like, I just, yeah. It's
Acquiring equity is the most acquiring equity and getting paid for getting perpetuity is the greatest investment anyone can make. No asset class.
facts.
Income generating asset, aka equity, is the greatest equity. Nothing better.
And then
No
the
touch
other
on that.
ultimate play, which is literally what blockchain says they do all day, every day, is try and find investors for other people. You don't have to have the money. You don't have to.
Wait. Let's pause that because that's another slide. All right, next slide. Okay. Who you know is more important than what you know. But people want to know people who know things and can do things. So that's not going to go down. Okay. So I would go so to say the split. People go on to say the reason why I don't like that phrase, who you know, not what you know, because it completely obliterates the importance of knowing things. I'm gonna you tell me what the split is, but I think the split is more like 60-40, but people make it out like it's 90-10. People make it out like it's 90% you know, 10% what you know. I would go as far as say it's more like 60-40. I know a lot of people, but the number one reason why I know people is because of what I know. It is not because people don't know me because of who I know. People know me because of what I know. And that's why they want to do business. They don't, for the most part, people don't want to do business through blockchain sensei with me because I know Mr. Harding. It's because when I approached that client, I represented myself, I represented blockchain sensei, but through me and through what I know, which is why it's important. Which is why it's important to actually know things as well. Why it's important to keep learning because the more you learn, the more you earn.
Facts.
And then with that knowledge, you multiply that with the network. The network is the multiplier.
And we keep giving you the model. Like, guys, if you wanted to make beats, like literally, what you could do, this is, again, I shouldn't really say this, but literally what you could do, just literally go and watch every episode of the game, and then go and approach some schools and say, I want to teach blockchain. Peace, right there.
And for whatever you are, holler us because there's not, like you said, there's no money competition, only money collaboration. So if anybody wants to collaborate with blockchain sensei on any educational program, you don't even need to be educated in blockchain. You need to do everything besides the education and collaborate with us to actually
Ooh, let me throw one out. I wonder if everybody watching this went to a school or university or college.
Could you make the phone call for us? Could you line it up for us?
Wonder.
Who's going to take initiative? Who listening to this is going to take initiative to contact their education institution or ex-education institution, have the conversation on our behalf and say, you know blockchain sensei, line it up. And the only conversation I want to hear is, Ninja, Mr. Arden, my school's interested, could get anyone to talk. The answer we want to tell you yes, and then the only question will be availability. That's what's going to happen. For the first one to review the job that. Maybe we'll get to a point and then
No, we will always be able to do it because it might not always be me and you, but it'll always be someone who's seen.
Right, okay.
Always gonna have someone. Always gonna have someone.
Always gonna have someone, yeah. We'll facilitate that. Okay, so next slide. As we were talking about, one of the most accessible income streams of this modern world of social media and hyperconnectivity is connecting buyers and sellers and then taking your fee.
Yeah.
Please screenshot this. Please screenshot this because I don't understand why this formula isn't blurted out. There's a lack of conversation about this. I just call it the finder's fee or the referrer or the plug. The easiest way, one of the easiest and most accessible ways to everybody on planet Earth, you don't need a degree, you don't need any skills except social skills and to not be weird. Like the skill is to not be weird.
Yeah.
And everyone got a reasonable social skill, 99% of people, to ask people, what do you want and need? And then you fulfill them with a person who can fulfill that want and need.
And the world has made it even easier. There's a thing called LinkedIn that a lot of old people don't know how to use. So you could literally, let's say, for example, they're looking for a new supplier or a cheaper supplier for chips, because their chip shop and the chips are costing too much. You can go on LinkedIn and find them a new supplier of their chips.
Everyone can do that hustle, it's free.
And then guess what happens? You get a percentage on that deal that they're doing with the chip supplier, or they might even like what you get so much to give you equity in the chip shop.
One of Alyssa's top jobs is to literally find me hot leads and we've agreed on what his percentage is when he brings me.
It's quite like it's literally everywhere, right? That connector thing is
everywhere,
especially right now.
But it's only spoken about hustle.
Yeah, in inflation and in interest rates going up, businesses are looking for other suppliers. There's never been a better opportunity to be that connector that finds suppliers.
Can I just identify a barrier for entry that a lot of people have? Is that I think a lot of people, I think we're just not conditioned of this society to take the finder's fee. Like I think that one barrier, if you can just get over a society not being used to taking a finder's fee, because that's where you get paid in introduction and connections that we say all the time. We make money through finder's fees and connecting people with people. Now, mind you, the VC were connecting companies that need investment with investors and agreeing with the investor and the person receiving the investment what the fee will be as a minimum.
Don't get me wrong. Like I think the higher the ticket goes, the more bullshit there is.
Oh, for sure.
So on the chip shop level, where you're connecting the chip shop with supply, that's easy. You could get that done in a week. Get your payment by the end of the month. When it comes, or say for example, a dog grooming company and they're looking for cheapest clippers, like finding that connect on Amazon or Alibaba for them, that's quick, that's easy. But the more zeros you add on the end, the more difficulty and the longer the deals take. So that's something you have to bear in mind. If you're new to this connecting thing, don't just go in and go, oh yeah, I want to start connecting PCs to whatever.
Yeah, start small.
It's about a relationship thing and how many deals you close before.
I would say don't even think about connecting people, get the phone book up. Like just know and that, like pick what kind of people you want to service, be it let's say models and photographers, really easy. Like
oh, that's the easiest one. Connecting models with photographers.
You find a list of photographers, open Excel spreadsheet, photographers list, and the model list. And you know what? Don't even like if you want to get in the connector game, don't even be in it for money or the fee. Just practice the art of connecting people. Like, this is like, if you can just master the art of connecting people, then you can. And you're not used to that. If you're not used to that, get used to that first. Then move on to the money finance.
And do you know why that's a sick one? Because photographers, like literally, the models there's modeling agencies. All you have to do, I'm going to give you some right now. PHA, Storm, Boss, Nemesis. I'm not going to say it again, but those are the modeling agencies. They literally list all their models with their names. You can just literally add them on Instagram or whatever, and then you've got the database to keep there. Now, the photographers, they always have shoots where models drop out.
Mm-hmm.
So you just say to them, look, if you ever have a model drop out, let me know. I've got a list of models. Cool.
The agency business model is timeless forever. Next.
That was my game.
No worries.
That was actually my game.
So please,
You can extrapolate that.
please have a deep think of about your subjective asset portfolio. So we always talk about objective assets, Bitcoin, gold, stock market, Apple. One thing that's not implemented in my life is subjective asset.
Woo! Whoa! Yes!
What?
My guy! No, he's doing these assets.
These assets, the food that you eat, the content you consume, which is basically social media. They used to say you are the 5 people who you surround yourself with. Nobody hangs out with 5 people, you I know. Generally, we've got 20 people in the company. You're literally who you consume. You're literally who's in your brain. Here are the 5 people in my head who are most in my brain, and then the content I consume. Mr. Harding, Keish, Lucas, Storm, in recent times. That's the content, right? They're people, but it's not just people, it's the content I consume within the group chat. It's the conversation, it's the direction, it's the attention, right? A lot of people link together and talk about nothing. Talk about people's business. Like, imagine if the same time, like, I'm not telling people to stop chilling, you don't have to be like me. Some of you guys saw it on Instagram story. I checked in, listen, 7 p.m. Sunday, we left, Saturday, 7 p.m. office, we left Saturday, 7 a.m. Well, I was saying, right? I don't expect them to do that, but if you can literally reformulate your children and the conversation that you're having with people.
To be about productive things rather than.
What is what we cover? When we change the conversation, we change the compensation. Jeez.
Mars.
The compensation is like once you literally change. Alyssa.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, Charles, did you?
We'll go back. It's at the top there.
Wait, well, listen, come sit down here, right? Right? Tell the people what the content you used to consume was for the pre-blockchain sensei, and what did your content consumption look like pre-blockchain sensei and now in blockchain sensei 3 weeks in?
Let me break it down.
Break it down.
My YouTube is just random shit. It's like cooking. It's just basketball. It's just celebrity shit like. And literally now I logged in, I looked at it, and I was just like, nah, this can't run. Like, really cleared it. Now it's like last year that's now 19 views, 0.0. Like, it's now just content is shit. I'm not saying to just go like 100% this or that. It's all about striking the balance. Like, I still like I deleted a lot of stuff in my phone. Like, still have like music video. I have like one series. It's all about keeping that balance, but never getting too lost in the source on the other side. Because once you do that, it's hard to climb out of the source.
One thing that I would definitely say is, like, my perfect example is Love Island. Look, yeah? Love Island, you can watch. But in moderation, it shouldn't be taking up 4 hours of your day.
And then the Twitter conversation.
And then the Twitter conversation, and then going on Instagram, liking, commenting. No. Do your 1 hour and then go, okay, once a week, I'll go a bit crazy for an hour on Instagram or Twitter and talk about it. But it's scary how much some of these social things can consume people. If you're watching Love Island and then going on YouTube to watch Love Island comments or people watching Love Island and their comments, ask yourself what you are doing and how it is benefiting you. The thing I always say to people is, if you are not getting paid and the content is free to do, you are the customer. And Love Island is free to watch. So you are the customer.
You're paying with your attention. That's why I say
you're the product that they're selling. Is the viewer. You're the viewer. Yeah, the viewer is the product. So
It's the same with social media as well.
Think about this. Are you paying attention, or will your attention get paid? Right?
Wow.
Most people pay attention. So the majority of their content transactions in terms of attention is consumption, because in consumption you pay, right? But when you watch like market our content, although you may not get paid immediately, it's the payment that you receive in the long term because of the knowledge and the mindset shift, followed by the knowledge, which hopefully you can implement with application knowledge is better than that.
Like the thing that we said about violent games, and most people are probably going to completely ignore. But you know, pick those thoughts. So then, next one that I'm going to say on that one, in terms of like the concept, is something that I do within the company. Is I do random spot checks, G checks on people's YouTube history. And you need to have that. If you're trying to up your game and up where you're going, you need to have people that hold you accountable, that randomly hand over your phone to them and show them your history. Because if, let's say, for example, I put Ninja on a research task or a writing task, I need to know, all right, cool, is he actually in that game? If I go on his phone and his history is this film music video, what this rapper's doing, how to write bars like this. I'm like, bro, have you done this work? And you'll sometimes go, yeah, I'll got busy. And then I'll be like, is it? What do you think about this song? You need people like that in your network that are gonna do that, or find or ask someone to just occasionally spot check me, trusted G check, because it's not me trying to like call him out, it's trying to me trying to raise him up. And I expect I've got Dom that does that to me, right? So that's where I'm fine. She'll be like, all right, cool, you've watched enough of that now. Like, all right then. You need that, you need that kind of additional person to, because once you've got that over your head, that you're gonna get checked. You move differently. Whereas if it's left uncontrollable and you know you do whatever stuff that you I can't explain how much time YouTube waste. Like it is designed to feed you crap forever, and then suggest even more crap that you watch. So and it's getting
Next slide. Okay. If you're always thinking about price and the cost instead of the value of something, you'll never be financially free. Think what the value is, not the price.
Boom. So that relates to some of the plays in the cryptos that I bought recently. So let's talk about let's go with one that we're talking today. Render. Is that a value asset? Is the price undervalued? Flow. Is that a valuable asset? Is it undervalued? Now let's start with flow. We've been talking about flow for a year and a half. Go to the Instagram and find out when we first started talking about flow. Now we've told you 1,001 times. It's in the Coinbase portfolio. It's like buying recent and hours. It's now Facebook, Instagram has announced that they're doing their integrations with it. They've got a partnership with the NBA and they do NBA Top Shot. Like, what more do you need? But what's happening is the price is going down, but the integrations and partnerships that they're making, the value is going up. Just imagine NBA Top Shot, which was the #1 revenuing NFT, now partnering up with Instagram. What's going to happen to the amount of eyes and people that are going to see NBA Top Shot? Just do the maths. So clearly, that is the play of finding undervalued assets. Same thing with Render Token. What do? They provide decentralized GPU rendering. So that means anyone that's doing
crazy.
if you are in any kind of graphical space or world, you will know. And I've not even talked about decentralized GPU Bitcoin mining. Don't even get me started on that.
GPU in general.
Decentralized GPU, like one of the biggest problems with anyone in the graphics space is adding textures and layers. It uses up crazy amounts of GPU space, and it means that it takes weeks, sometimes even months, to render a 10-minute film. Whereas a decentralized version of that is amazing. So let's say, for example, Render Network, they just got they onboarded and made one of their partners, bloody JJ Abraham from Bad Robot. I wonder if JJ Abraham has, we just installed it. I wonder if his projects need a lot of rendering. I don't know. Do they use up a lot of GPU space? Of course they do. So if the price is going down, but the partnerships and integrations clearly show more revenue, then you have an undervalued asset. So what happens is people see the price and they're like, oh, the price is down, it's not good anymore. Okay, yes, that might be the case in some cases, but the ultimate question of business and why we always get people to learn about stocks first, then crypto. When you're investing in stocks, you have to look at the increase in the revenue, the increase in the profit. The price that's due to crypto. Yes, your crypto will go down temporarily. Guess what? These fees aren't done. They are looking at the same thing. So, yeah, that's my little rant.
Next slide, please.
I think that's it, bro. No.
You know what I love about what's happening in this episode?
What?
We started off with 15 people, and now we're at 8. I love that. Do you know what that shows? Either people have got stuff going on in their life and they're going to watch it back on the YouTube, or the facts and reality isn't as entertaining. But unfortunately, these 8 people that are on this stream, read the names. DKO, Janae, Devon, Idris, Els, Will. Okay, let's see in 6 months' time. We're gonna go back over some of the things that we said in this episode. We're gonna get people to type gaming chat. More profitable in 6 months, 3 years' time than it was previously. Be interesting.
Mm-hmm. So this is just a basic.
Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
This is just a basic blueprint for what I always need to think about. Number 4, cash is what the matrix is thinking about. We're always thinking about income, about the income streams, especially building passive income streams. You always talk about equity and ownership. Own either whole businesses or part of businesses. Be in collaboration. If you're not the entrepreneur type to be in collaboration and need something, everyone can be of service. Easiest, low skill, but very important. I'm not saying not important. Very important. Easy access income streams, including but not limited to researcher, Discord manager, social media. It's easy. Everyone can do these jobs. Literally anybody. Assets. Obviously, we want to make sure we have a diverse portfolio. Stocks, crypto, one day real estate when you get there, and then network. Make sure that you're always connecting with people, with the right people, because your network is your network. Very crucial. Next slide. Is this the last slide?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know what? I've been networking for so many years. You tell me if you've ever done it. Right? Yeah, I started networking watching Sensei as of like 3-4 months ago. People go to networking events and exchange details, which I think is okay. But for the most part, most of those interactions don't lead to anything. So I found that the best thing to do at networking events, I would rather walk away with 2 meetings than 10 on that. They're just sitting there. The last networking event I went to, I left with 4 or 5 meetings scheduled in the diary, and I think about 8 contacts. But that power move of scheduling meetings, they're event in front of the person. You ask them when they are free. This is only if you meet somebody who doesn't send you. You don't want to be overbooked meeting. It's going to stop it in dead conversation. But when you find that person who you feel like you can exchange value with, booking that meeting, not that I'll get in touch, because I'll get in touch turns into you trying to find the time to get in contact with them, and they're trying to find the contact
synergy's
with.
not there.
It's just not there. But I literally see nobody does this. We've been going to networking events since I was 19. Only started implementing this at 26 a few months ago. Sent it to the boys, and it's been a killer move. I don't know how people don't do this. Like, but you told me this, funny. Prior to what, 6 months ago, did you ever go to networking events and book meetings by going there?
Slightly, but that's only because of my network marketing. I didn't do it in the same way.
Right.
You've done it in a way that's completely different to the way that I do it. Like that same principle is what I kind of implemented in the business, where if you have someone in your net, say for example, we've got a client and we're in a conversation, and they're like, oh yeah, this would be good, or oh, I need this, and we've got that contact. But even though it's rude, I would take out my phone and set up that meeting or message that contact right there and then. Because if you don't, you forget, or things don't happen, or it's not available. And then you can say,
then the only thing is connecting two people together.
yeah, if it's connecting two people together, and I'm talking to them right now. So let's say, for example, Sky says to me, oh yeah, you know what, I'm trying to make this beat, I need a female vocalist. I'm like, I know a female vocalist, let me message her right now. We'll carry on talking, and then I'll be like, right, sorry about that, I was just messaging the female vocalist. He's not going to be angry at me for messaging the female vocalist that he just said he needed and being distracted. He's going to be like, yo, sick. Then when the female vocalist messages me back and goes, yeah, I'm available, boom. He's like, yo, sick, you just came through that quick. And then I put him on the phone right there, right then. That's action, like, it's just successful speed, but you've taken it to the networking space where it's just even more powerful.
So this is what I do, right? And I don't do this with everyone. I network, and this is only when I meet people in the industry, especially now because I can't really meet them inside. But when I meet the right person, what I do is I, first of all, get people's number over getting them on social media. Like,
Yeah,
do you want
social media
followers?
is dead.
Do you want followers, or do you want the ability? Remember, if you pay for three things: information, access, and access. Access. Do you have more access to somebody if you have them on social media where anybody in the world can message them, right? I got like 700 unread Instagram DMs. I'm sorry, right? WhatsApp less than 200 because it's more accessible. But anyone who calls me, leaves a voicemail and the text, which very few people do. Mind you, for the 1,000 plus unread that I have, seldom people call me and leave a message, right?
And the voicemail.
Having someone's number is a privilege because you can call them. Like the percentage of like the X between people who call me and message me is insane. If you can just be a caller and you just get it there, so get people's number, right? Ask them when they're available. Put them in a diary. If you don't use a diary, you'll never be successful. Use a diary. Like, use a Google Calendar, or I know people say like write in a diary. Old school. I completely disagree. It's a modern world, right? Use a same diary.
Yeah, you can sync people to
Exactly.
it, send email, add attachments.
Exactly. Everyone who's done old school diary, throw it away. Okay? Get with Google Calendar. My whole life documents since 2016. I knew what I was doing in December, like 30th December 2018. I know that and that day. One of the best things I ever did was just start doing calendar constantly, or use after whatever. Ask them when they're free, in front of their eyes. Take their number, name them, but also name them
Where you met them.
where you met them. So what I like to do is like, let's say John Brown, Shoreditch, the date, so I put May 2021, so I have the same number since 2011. I've got people take like November 2016. A description where you'll never forget them, right? And show them what you saved them as, because it makes them respect you. You might save them John. You're John Brown, Shoreditch, NFT guy, June 2021, right? Ask them when they're free. I show them my calendar, so they literally see that I'm a busy person. I find the time, I slot it in, and then I WhatsApp them my Zoom code and confirm the time. Boom. Booked. How much business is that generated?
That's
Life
90%.
changing.
That is 90%.
People don't do that. People are like, follow me.
And the other one that is very
I don't
dead
want
is
to buy.
business cards. They're dead.
Yeah.
They're dead. I've always said this, yes. When you like, yes, give someone your business card, but only give them your business card if you've taken their number, like, or you've got their business card with their number. and then miscalling right there and right then. Because if you give someone your business card, there's no guarantee. You've lost control. You just lost all power. Yeah, it's just going to be control.
You know what I'll do? You know what I will say though, is you do need to establish where the value proposition is. So like with Alyssa, for example, you didn't really have a value proposition for me. It was more like, I want to do this, and I felt like I was a value giver. So I felt like in that scenario with Alyssa, it was right for me to give the business card because it was his job. It was his job to get it done. Like it was for sure not my job doing that interaction to get it done. So I think with regards to that is, yeah, give out a business card if you're the person who's providing value, and you don't need that person. I mean, now I need one. Now I can really don't go nowhere. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, when we originally met, I didn't take his details and I gave my number because I felt like I had something to provide. But
It's up to me to contact him.
yeah,
Whether I want to put the bag or not.
and that
Which
shows
is
what I say.
Which is fine too. Don't be like ashamed of seeking value in others.
Oh, definitely. Not.
Nah, definitely.
That's not the value is good. You gotta find it.
Right, I'm gonna quickly go to some charts.
Oh, charts as well.
Nah, not bad, just like 2, 3. Let me reclaim host on this end. Needed to get in there. But whilst I'm doing that, I'm happy to take. Oh, is that hotspot still on? Drop that back on first.
Well,
I'm not doing loads. I'm just gonna show again, like I always show, why I look at the weekly time frame before I look at anything. Why I look at the monthly time frame before I look at anything. It's on now, yeah. It was Sky. Oh, it's not even coming up now. No, it's not. It's not coming up. Let me do it off here. Yeah, can't hotspot over the internet. Okay, let me add reclaim host. Okay, and then I'm gonna leave that. To all of yous that are still here. So we had this crazy ass gap down on the S&P on the daily. You can't see it on the big chart. You can only see it on here on the Zoom. But where are these key support levels? Again, you can see them a little bit better if you go to the weekly. So you can see here on the weekly time frame, you can see that this area here was one of my key support levels. Now the next one is actually around here, and then there's another one even further down. But what we want to do is we want to ask ourselves, how likely is it to continue falling? So all you can do, really simple, pull that off. Just do super simple, basic fib retracement, but not on the time frame that you'd expect it to be on. What you want to do is you want to get as much data as possible. So I would say 10 years worth of data. So watch this. So we'll go from here, 2010. Watch this. And we'll go from here, 2008 crash to here. And then we will check the fib levels, and surprise, surprise, this is one of the key fib levels here where we've just broken out of as well. Just here is one of the key fib levels. So where do we expect this thing to come down to is around here, this key level that we've marked off already. Now, let's do that again for Bitcoin. Now, the Bitcoin, we've been saying this thing's been in the bear market since, when did we put warning? We put this in 8th of November. I remember 1st of November, we did the episode, Sell Your Bitcoin. Where we're expecting it to come down to was anywhere between this 27K mark and the 19K mark. So again, that's what we're expecting. So we'll see how that plays out. Again, we've drawn this diagram of what we're expecting. I'm now expecting something called a dead cat bounce. So dead cat bounce is exactly this. When something falls dramatically, it bounces back up. But then when it bounces back up, it comes down even further. So this is what I'm expecting. This is what I've drawn out. So let's see how it plays out. We've been right so far. Still buying whilst it's going down, not Bitcoin, obviously. I'm buying the alts because the alts need to flip out. Because if we look at the alts and we look at these on the weekly, look at that massive drop down. Where are we expecting it to go to? If we do this, what's good about this is we can do the retracement on the alts from the very start. Boom. So our key levels, the 702 is, and it tells us the exact number here. So it's saying between 618 is 438 billion, the 702 is between, and the 75 is between 344 billion and 290 billion. So this is the key area here that we're expecting some kind of major turnaround now that we've broken through here. So we've still got space to come down even further. So we're expecting this to come down to here. However, let me just draw that in. And then what I would do is I would also whack in the RSI and look at how deep has the RSI gone before and how deep could it go again. So if we whack in this RSI, we can see now we are now at levels deeper than 2018. So what does that mean? That means crazy bargains, but it also means if we look at this RSI, it's actually at 28 on the weekly. So it could actually go deeper. And what does this show us? It could go deeper. So what we want it to come to is around here, around the 290 billion mark. Now, why is that a good thing? Because if it's all the way down there, what happened in 2019 when it was all the way down there? 2 years later, the entire crypto market went up by 4,000%. So you just got to ask yourself, you know, is it worth it? But then when we do the drawdown from 2017 all the way down to where it dipped, that was a 91% drop. So you've got to basically know, are you willing to stick in and still buy things in a 91% drop? So where's a 91% drop for us here? That's around here. So this is the major area where you should be okay and comfortable for it to drop below, is 106 billion on the crypto market. So that means every asset that you're in, mark off the price of at least 90% from the point of the all-time high. That should give you the price of where it could get down to. So let's go to crypto portfolio and show you this on ETH. Wow, is ETH just completely nowhere near my portfolio? Oh, here we go. Okay, so from top of ETH here, we'll go 90 down. So 84 is around here, 740, 90 around $400, like I said. So let's see what happens. So yeah, just that's what I'm saying. Anyway, I will answer some questions because there's not many people here. So we'll start off with Els. Els, thank you for joining us today.
Yes, Elliot. It's
Yo,
Elliot.
oh, it's Elliot. Oh, what's good, fam?
What's going on? Just put the little one to sleep. Boy, what question have I got? I don't even have a question, I'm just taking it all in again.
When can we come up to watch to participate live? Because you're not in Kerry.
For you, any Monday.
Any Monday. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone that's a paid student can come any Monday.
All right. Keep doing what you're doing, man, and some more in-person events as well.
Yeah. Let's ask you. Are you free Monday next week?
Monday next week, I am work, and then got a little one from nursery. Yeah, I'm free.
Yeah, so come.
We'll see you.
Come next week. Be here for 7 p.m.
Yeah, I can do that. I should do that. Yeah.
Sick. All right, Livos, we'll see you next week.
Right.
Will, we're seeing you tomorrow, so you can ask all your questions there. Idris, what's up, homie?
Yeah, bro. Thanks for everything today. Just asking, how serious are you about the plant for crypto? Because I might have an interesting project. We need to have a chat if you're interested.
The plant for crypto. Oh, yes. I am super interested. Anything to do with hydroponics, I'm obsessed with, as me and Devon have had a conversation about that. But yeah, if you've got a project about it, please send it my way. I know a few VCs that are interested in it as well, so please send it.
Absolutely, yeah. This is brilliant. Good news. Right, okay. Well, I'll have a chat with you at some point. Just let me know when you're available.
Defo. Tomorrow's a bit busy, but Wednesday, Thursday's a little bit better.
Right, I'll schedule that in. Thanks, man.
Perfect. No worries. Speak soon. Janaea, got any questions? Nope, no questions from Janaea. Deco, any questions? Nope, no questions.
Yeah, no questions. Just big up you, man. Innit? So many gems in the game today, bro. Insane.
Bro, congratulations on again getting equity for
easy,
the project again, bro.
So it does, bro.
That's your second one, bro.
More to come, trust me.
That's mad. You're moving mad, bro.
More soon come, bro. More soon come, trust.
And keep scaling it, bro. It's gonna get crazy.
Always, man.
Always, bro. Love, bro. Love.
Love, man.
Next, Devon, last but not least. Any questions?
Oh, hey, how are you guys doing?
Hey, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing pretty well. You honestly kind of answered my questions like throughout your whole presentation, but I was gonna ask a question about building your expertise network. Like I know you're aware of like what I'm doing with hydroponics, and like to be honest, like not too many people are like well versed in it, like especially like at least like in my circle. So I'm like more so the expert in it. But like you kind of touched upon it with the like going to networking events and things like that. But do you have any other advice for someone who's like interested in building their expertise network in something specific? I know like you guys have your expertise network within blockchain and things like that.
So what I would suggest is go to networking events related to what your service or product needs. So let's say, for example, I'm in chips. I'm going to use a chip shop again. It's the easiest metaphor. I'm going to go to a networking event about potatoes. Do you get what I mean? I'm going to go to a networking event about deep fat fryers. Why? Who am I going to meet there? Other people in the chip game?
Yes.
So for you in hydroponics, you need to go to events where it's the people making the hardware for it. People or go to farmers markets. Go to anything to do with farming. If you're gonna if you're doing hydroponics, then clearly anyone to do with farming is relatable to.
Yes.
Or you're gonna find people that are in it are probably going to be at things to do with farming, agriculture, and most definitely anything to do with seeds and seed banks.
Yes.
So that's where you want to network.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Love. All right, safe guys. Great episode as per usual. Love. See you in a bit. Devon, Idris wants to connect with you. I think you're both in the WhatsApp group, so just shout in the WhatsApp group and connect. Save. We'll see you tomorrow. Wait.
Oh, 1 second. I'm actually not in the WhatsApp group.
What?
Nah.
Yo, you know what? To be fair, we need to go off WhatsApp soon because we're actually about to reach the limit. The limit is 256
Oh.
WhatsApp group, and what we've got like 249 or something.
Oh shit.
Like some people gonna have to go from that group.
Yeah, that's fine. You got my number right, Devon?
No, I don't. I connected with you like through email, I think, or like Calendly, whatever.
There's my number. You might have to
Okay.
put +44 in
Plus
front of it.
44 instead of the 0.
And that's just I can do that through WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right, no worries, bro.